August 21st, 1955. Kelly, Kentucky. A quiet farming town is settling in to a humid Sunday night. Inside a small farmhouse on Old Madisonville Road, 11 people gather for a normal evening, unaware that they're minutes away from one of the most documented close encounters in American history. It begins with the dogs growling at the tree line, making the kinds of sounds they only make when a natural predator's present. Then a small, metallic figure glides out of the darkness, long arms, glowing yellow eyes, followed by more at the windows and around the house. And when the first reaches the porch railing, gunfire erupts into the night. Welcome back to the Fork in the Road Fearcast. I am Eric Duenas, and I am joined by the gorgeous, beautiful, ever so sexy Lauren Duenas, the face of the show, because we know mine isn't attracting any subscribers. Like and subscribe.
Oh, you're buttering me up, Eric. What did you do?
Oh, you don't know yet.
But I'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tonight's episode takes us into one of the most credible mass witness alien or goblin encounters ever documented. This isn't lights in the sky. This isn't one person telling a story after a night of partying or drinking. This is a siege and a straight up shootout. Witnessed by an entire family, documented by police, state troopers, and yes, even the military.
The physical damage, ballistics, and testimony never changed over decades. And importantly, this is the event that coined the famous term, little green men. By the way, Lauren, when I say I would do anything for you, I'm not talking about doing the dishes, laundry, or power washing the walkway. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Yes, I'm talking about having a shootout with aliens.
Wow, you truly are so brave. An alien defense package included in my marriage. Amazing. We're talking about the Kelly-Hopkinsville siege. What makes this case unique is the combination of people involved and the scale of the response. 20 officers, military involvement, a multi-hour gun battle, a second wave after the police left, and every member of the family, from adults to children, describing the same impossible beings. Tonight, we walk through the account exactly as they gave it.
And trust me, it only gets crazier from here.
It definitely does.
Kelly, Kentucky in 1955 was as rural gets. We're talking pitch black nights, long stretches of farmland, and silence that made every footstep outside feel close.
AKA the perfect setting for an alien to pop out and say, "E.T., phone home."
Oh my God, you're so cute. The Sutton house had thin wooden walls, a tin roof, and windows that didn't muffle sound. We're not talking about hurricane impact windows here. We're talking about thin panes of glass. You literally heard everything out there.
Yeah, absolutely not. I need at least some buffer between me and the woods.
Inside the house were Lucky Sutton, J.C. Sutton, Billy Ray and June Taylor, the matriarch, Glennie Langford, her older children, and 3 younger kids. There was no drinking, no known exaggerators, nobody with any history of making up stories, and none of them ever changed their accounts of the night.
So basically, they were a big, sober, honest family, the worst possible group to try and dismiss as imagining things.
Exactly, which makes the first sighting hit even harder.
Mm-hmm. Around 7 p.m., Billy Ray Taylor, he's visiting from Pennsylvania and a former co-worker of Lucky's on the carnival circuit. He goes out to the well for water. He looks up and he sees glowing objects streak across the sky, multicolored, bright, silent, moving intelligently. He watches it hover, dip, and drop into the woods behind the property. He runs inside shouting, "I seen a flying saucer!"
And of course they tease him, because if Billy Ray ran in yelling that to me, I tease him too before going outside to check out what he saw.
Yeah, right? I mean, the funny part ends quickly because the dogs start going nuts, pacing, barking, refusing to go near the tree line. Animals do not joke around.
I mean, you're not lying. When animals know, they know.
Exactly. And that's when everyone stops laughing.
Billy Ray steps outside to check on the dogs, and a figure comes out of the shadows. Metallic skin, huge yellow eyes, arms down to its knees. Its movement looks more like gliding than walking. Billy Ray calls for Lucky, and soon everyone else sees what Billy was looking at.
Yeah, that gliding detail, it messes me up every single time. Nothing glides unless it's floating or plotting.
Billy Ray said it raised its hands like a warning. Lucky fires, the creature drops, then rises upright without using its legs, lifting smoothly from the ground. Lucky told police, "I shot it, and it rang like a metal bucket."
A floating silver creature with a metal bucket sound effect. Hell to the no.
Yeah, but that was only the beginning.
Yeah, so inside the house, Glennie Langford sees a glowing face pressed against the window. Large head, glowing eyes, long fingers gripping the screen. Its head sways like it's studying them. Lucky fires through the window, and the creature flips backward and vanishes.
I really like Lucky. He's my kind of guy. He shoots first and asks questions later.
Yeah.
Just when they're trying to breathe, they start hearing scratching on the roof. Billy Ray steps outside, and a long arm reaches over the gutter and touches his hair.
Nope, that's it. I'd be getting a new house, go to a new state, or hell, even a new life.
He fires. The creature somersaults slowly and glides out of sight. Multiple witnesses describe their movement as floating more than walking. And this is when everything spirals. By midnight, the family breaks. They jump into 2 cars and race to the Hopkinsville police station. 11 terrified people burst through the doors. Trooper R.F. Ferguson wrote, "Occupants appeared genuinely frightened, bordering on hysteria." I mean, I really can't blame them considering what they just went through for the last few hours.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be? And honestly, if a whole family showed up today like that, officers would assume a zombie apocalypse or maybe like meth heads, not aliens.
You're not lying. You're right. Sheriff Greenwell interviews them separately. Their stories all match perfectly. He said these aren't the kind of people who normally run to the police for help. What they do is reach for their guns, which is exactly what they did here, and I guess it just didn't work out for them.
Mm-hmm.
The women and children were hysterical. One man's heartbeat was 140 beats per minute. Within minutes, police, deputies, state troopers, and Fort Campbell military police respond to the station.
Yeah, so there were 20 officers that headed to the farmhouse. The creatures are gone, but the evidence is everywhere. I mean, there's bullet holes, torn screens, bent roofing, spent casings, overturned furniture, and the dogs are still even agitated. Imagine being the last officer in the line. We've seen horror stories and we know how that goes.
Oh, I would be fighting to get to the front of the line.
Yeah, you would.
They search until 2:15 a.m. They leave. At 3:30 a.m., the creatures return. Billy Ray sees a glowing face, and my man Lucky fires again.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, the family resolved themselves to waiting until sunrise.
Yeah, and that second visit you just spoke about, that wasn't random. That was personal.
Yeah, the creatures coming back kind of gives let's hang back and wait for the grown-ups to leave kind of vibes.
Definitely.
So let's move on. Let's move on to what each witness said.
Yeah, so first we'll talk about Billy Ray Taylor. So he describes the beings as being metallic and reflective, like wet tin under the moon, large glowing yellow eyes, long arms nearly to their knees, gliding motion, and he never wavered, that one reached down from the roof and again, yes, touched his hair.
Moving on to Mr. Lucky Sutton. Lucky focused on how the creatures reacted. A gunshot sounded like hitting a metal bucket. He watched them fall, roll, then rise without using their legs. Their movements, drifting and puppet like. He described
Mhm.
one somersaulting slowly before gliding away. He maintained that they weren't attacking, just observing.
A metal bucket alien doing somersaults. This case literally has everything, Eric.
It does.
Yeah. So next is JC Sutton. So he's the one that sources say he was kind of a skeptic. So he was very practical, level-headed, but he fired at the creature through the window at point blank range and he watched it get back up. I mean, that's really freaky. This dude literally watched this thing rise from the dead. I don't know. He described their head bobbing and their reflective skin. He said, no animal walks away from that. Well, maybe if you're a cat with 9 lives, you do.
I mean, when the group skeptic flips teams, it's real. It means something.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on to Elmer Sutton. Elmer said the beings always arrived in pairs, never alone. He watched them drop from trees and glide to the ground. He noticed that they shimmered in the light. It's creepy.
Pairs mean teamwork, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, so moving on to Glennie Langford. So she was deeply religious, highly respected, and she said their eyes were as big as washpans. She heard tapping at the windows, saw long fingers curling around the frames, movement silent and deliberate. Her calm consistency heavily impacted investigators.
I mean, she's the kind of woman where if she says it, like it happened.
Yeah, she was a God-fearing woman for sure.
So the children are interesting. They describe the same creatures: round heads, oversized glowing eyes, 3 fingers, long arms, gliding motion. Their drawings all match the adults' descriptions perfectly, and they were drawn independently, which is crazy. You know, kids are funny when they're in the presence of cops or adults or other authority figures. They're way more inclined to tell the truth.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And on top of that, like our kids can't even match their socks, let alone they're going to draw matching aliens. I mean, come on, that has to be real.
Oh yeah. So let's look at what the authorities found.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the police reports and the military reports. So the police found no alcohol, no hoax materials, and no contradictions. Sheriff Greenwell had never seen a family so genuinely terrified. Troopers documented bullet holes, torn screens, roof damage. Military police found no signs of intoxication or deception. Not one agency dismissed their story at all.
I mean, when multiple agencies don't laugh it off and sweep it under the rug, that means something because that's always what they do.
Yeah, that's very true.
The next morning, investigators searched for physical evidence: tracks, burn marks, anything. They found nothing conclusive. However, some retellings of this story do say that they found like a neon green patch in the grass. I don't
That's
think that's ever
interesting.
been proven or substantiated, but I mean, I guess that story had to come from somewhere. Uh,
It's a cool story to tell.
radioactive grass from the little green men.
Yes. Love it.
Later, radio engineer Bud Ledwith interviewed each adult witness separately and sketched what they described. Their creature descriptions all matched perfectly with striking consistency.
Yeah, that's the part skeptics forget. They were separate witnesses and they all had identical details.
I mean, it's very compelling.
And it definitely is. So in 1956, a researcher named Isabel Davis, she compiled interviews, sketches, maps, and law enforcement reports. She found that hoaxes, publicity stunts, or mass imagination, it didn't fit the data. And Glennie stood out as a especially credible source.
I mean, God-fearing woman.
Exactly.
And also to follow up on that, gunshots through the walls. I mean, that's evidence to me, but what do I know?
Yeah, well, which brings us to our theories, Eric. We know where you're going with this, but let's hear
This is my favorite part of the show.
it.
So, theories range from extraterrestrial visitors based upon the gliding movement, glowing eyes, and resistance to gunfire to experimental government tech. I don't know. I don't buy government tech. It's 1955. The government's not experimenting with floating suits and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 2025 and we can't even get AI walking robots right.
Nice.
Interdimensional beings get floated too. Uh, I mean, I feel like that's aliens with extra steps. In order for that to work, you have to violate the laws of physics twice. Not only do you have to travel from far away, you got to come through another dimension, which
Yeah, it's pretty far-fetched.
that's far-fetched. Owls have been suggested, but the size, motion, and behavior do not match. I mean, that's a theory from like real skeptics.
Yeah, I mean, if an owl tanks bullets and floats across my yard, I'm seriously going to start questioning things.
I mean, another theory is mass hysteria. That doesn't fit 11 witnesses, physical damage, and police involvement. And I feel like people throw mass hysteria at anything weird, but it just doesn't hold up here. So, drum roll. In my opinion, definitely aliens. Hands down. What about you, baby?
So if it wasn't aliens, then I really don't want to know what it was. Maybe a genetically modified owl?
Lauren, that's a really interesting way to avoid agreeing with me.
Hmm, maybe. It doesn't always have to be aliens, though, Eric.
Yeah, it does. Whatever they were, they changed that family forever.
For sure. The Suttons refuse money and attention. Their stories never change. Their children told the same details into adulthood. Investigators concluded something extraordinary happened, something outside the normal explanation. If this something this traumatic happened to me, I would definitely be collecting a paycheck for my pain and suffering.
Oh, you would be riding that train for the longest time ever.
Yeah, I would.
The more consistent a story stays, the harder it is to deny. I mean, that's for sure. The
Mhm.
beings never forced their way inside. They never harmed anyone. They watched, observed, returned after the police left, which still creeps me out. Were they scouts, scientists, something we don't have a word for? I don't know.
They were watching. They weren't watching for nothing. And are they watching now?
I don't know, maybe. Stay curious,
Stay cautious.
and whatever you do, don't stop at the fork in the road.